If you care about Higgs Beach, not just who's enjoying it, but who's responsible for it and what it could cost us, this is worth your time. This is item 40, coming up April 1st at 9 a.m. You will likely remember me talking about this last month when the commission voted to continue talks with Monroe County. This month, the city is being asked to approve the conveyance of Higgs over from Monroe County. And I want to walk you through what's actually in the documents, because this is not just we get the beach. What's being proposed is a transfer of 2 county-owned parcels at Higgs Beach to the city through an interlocal agreement and a quitclaim deed. So yes, ownership would shift, but the documents make it really clear the city would be taking this subject to existing restrictions, including land and water conservation fund requirements that stay with the property in perpetuity. So this is not a blank slate. It comes with rules already attached. There's also a third parcel in the middle tied to the FAA, about 100 by 300 feet. That piece is not part of the transfer right now. The county says they're coordinating with the FAA to see if it can be conveyed, but there's no guarantee in this agreement. So that's one piece of uncertainty sitting right there in the middle of the property. Now let's talk about the money, because that's a big part of how this is being presented. The documents outline about $2.88 million in improvements tied to this deal. That comes from a mix of sources, about $987,000 from Hurricane Ian insurance proceeds, $500,000 in county capital funding, around $834,000 in TDC grant funding, and about $568,000 from an FDOT grant that still requires coordination to transfer. All of that is supposed to move with the property on a timeline laid out in the agreement. There's also a separate piece tied to an older agreement, the Hawk Missile Site obligation. Originally, the county was supposed to build out a recreational field. Instead, this deal converts that into a $2 million payment to the city, $1.25 million from the airport fund and about $747,000 from another county fund. And once that's paid, that obligation is considered fully satisfied. So that's a shift from build something to pay something and close it out. Now, the city's own analysis projects about $223,970 net benefit over 5 years. But even in the staff memo, they say that that depends on variables, things like maintenance costs, insurance, and grant compliance. And part of that revenue includes TDC funding. And this is important. That funding is not guaranteed forever. If that changes, the costs don't disappear, they shift back to the city. So that's something people should be factoring in when they hear net benefit. The city would also take on existing leases immediately, including Salute, the sports company, and the garden club. But the actual lease terms are not included in these documents. So the public can see who's there, but not the full details of what we're inheriting. Then you get into the title reports. Both parcels are currently vested in Monroe County, but the reports flag things the city needs to account for: existing development agreements, easements, unrecorded leases, and potential claims related to submerged or filled lands. They also make it clear these are not title insurance policies and they don't include federal lien searches. So there's still due diligence that has to happen beyond what is in this packet. There's also a mention in the ILA that the county has provided data related to potential grave sites underground. That data is not included here. So that's another area where the public is being told something exists but not given the full picture to evaluate it. So when you step back, this is what's really in front of us. A transfer of land, yes, but also a transfer of obligations, funding, dependencies, existing agreements, and long-term restrictions. If I were sitting on the commission, I wouldn't treat this like a quick yes or no. I'd want the full picture clearly in front of the public before a final vote. That means clear lease terms, clear status of the FAA parcel, clear breakdown of what funding is guaranteed versus conditional, especially TDC, and a simple explanation of what the city is responsible for starting day one. And if we move forward, I'd want ongoing public reporting, not just approval and move on. I'd want people to be able to see what money actually comes in, what gets spent, and how Higgs is being managed over time. Because this is a public space, and decisions like this should feel like the public actually understands what's happening before they're made. So if you care about Higgs, pay attention to this one. Watch the meeting, show up, make comments, questions before the meeting through email. You don't have to have all the answers to be part of the conversation. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to make sure you have what you need to be a part of this decision. And more people who understand what's happening, the better this city works.